Right then, good evening everyone. Unlike Saphira, we're going live early rather than late. Do things a bit differently. Let me just check. This looks like it's quite lining up. There we go. Better. Make sure that Raid fits in the streaming panel a bit better. I'll just give it a couple of minutes, let people join before we jump in and try and do Hydra. Whilst with my other hand, I'll try and get the challenge account going, which I need to do as well. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done any video or stream. I was away on holiday the week before last, and then last week was just mad with work, and then over the weekend I just didn't feel like it. Partly because of Raid news has not been conducive to making positive videos, shall we say. So I just decided, if you have nothing good to say, maybe don't say anything at all. That was the approach I took in the end. I did consider, should I, do an updated state of the game video, but I just thought it would end up being a bit negative. Better just to leave it. I think everyone else kind of put out videos that pretty much summed up most of the issues. I didn't think there was anything unique or different that I could really add to the conversation, so I didn't bother. Basically, how's everyone getting on with CvC? Current deck of fate. I mean, I do find the actual rewards a bit more interesting. The fact that we have the opportunity to get some mythical, particularly on the righteous side. Killstroke, not so exciting. I really think they should actually add mythical into the clan shop, because the clan shop, once you've got a really high-end clan, I mean, by the time you actually unlock Killstroke, it barely has a place in the game. So I think mythical should be attainable there. Mythical Cruel, I think they should give us a way of getting that. So what I would prefer to see here would be the previous Forge passes. So I'm glad to see Defiant there, glad to see Righteous, but I don't think Killstroke or Cruel should be here, and I don't think Divine Speed should be there either. I think that would make it more interesting. But, overall, at least it's a different event. There's a different set of rewards. And, if you want to go and do it, there's worse things you could do. I've not actually checked anything in terms of the amount of resources required to be able to access the majority of the flips you would need to, say, have a realistic chance of picking up some of this mythical stuff. Nice to see top-end glyphs making a show there. These 4-star glyphs, personally, I don't think they should even include them. But, overall pretty good. You know how I feel about these chests. The probability of actually getting the chest is pretty low, and then the probability of actually getting anything good from them is also pretty low. So RNG on top of RNG is not something that I'm particularly attracted to. We do have Hydra to do today. I did my highest ever key last week, and let me see if I can screenshot. There we go. I know it says Hydra Clash 156 million, but it is Nightmare. This was bugged at the time. I think they've actually fixed it now. But yeah, this is the team I'm currently using. I don't actually have Morley on my own account, so I couldn't use the Necmo Morley, Mithrala, Shamel, Ugo kind of composition. So I use Kantra instead. And Nut and Shamil do most of the damage. Mithrala's damage really is there coming from Hex. So yeah, this is the team, and since this run was done, I do have a 1-star for Ugo, and I got the 4th star for Shamil. At some point, I actually have to assign blessings for Mithrala and Nut as well. Newt, whatever we want to call him. But I do need to assign the blessing, and I just haven't got around to doing it. So let's jump in. First things first, I said let's awaken. Now the question is, which Ugo is it? I'm pretty sure it's Ugo 1. Should probably double check this though. So let's jump into Hydra, to Nightmare. Nightmare team is Ugo 1. Be a shame if we went and did the awakening on the wrong Ugo. Okay. There is a question mark here, which is, should I have Cruelty or should I have Miracle Heal? And I'm gonna go for Cruelty, to be honest. Where is Go? And then I'm blind, I can't see her. Oh, where? Right. Cruelty. Okay, there we go. Do I like any of the mythical champions? Do I like the current fusion? I did the current fusion, rather, was the question. Did I do it? I did it on the main. I didn't do it on the challenge account. I decided to give myself a bit of a rest on the challenge account. I just didn't have the energy, basically. I just couldn't cope, dude, with it. I was just like, wanted to have my holiday. I didn't want to have to try and do the fusion on 2 accounts whilst I was away on holiday, and I was just tired, you know, of relentless fusions on 2 accounts. I wasn't keen on doing it, but I did it on the main account. Let's jump in to Nightmare. That is the team. There's a couple of things that are reliant, or that this team is reliant on, and namely that is Kantra has to get out decrease accuracy at least on Mischief, and the more consistently that can happen, the better. That is basically a bit of a prerequisite. I also kind of need to land Provoke from Necmo on the first. Did get the decrease accuracy, so we're in a good place. We can just crack on, really. You can see we'll take very little damage overall, but also every single champion here is a Mischief tank. They all have enough accuracy, so long as we have the decrease accuracy on Mischief, everyone has enough accuracy to be able to tank it up. Which means we don't care about buffs at all, which is obviously a nice place to be. It's better not to care about buffs at all if you can avoid it. So then we don't need to worry who Mischief targets. It's all equal, and we won't take we won't lose turn meter, we won't lose buffs. We also won't get a load of poison from this. We won't get a load of poison from decay. We are actually probably going to get a cleanse. We seem to have run out of enough debuffs on on decay. I tell you what, it's actually quite hard to do Hydra and talk at the same time. I have a newfound respect for Saphira, who has been doing this with you guys for a while, because it's actually quite awkward to try and read, talk, and think about what you're doing. So we'll probably get the cleanse here, which is a little bit annoying. I was not paying enough attention. We need to make sure that we keep enough debuffs on decay, so we can use Mithrala's A1 in that regards. We probably will get moved over, but Shamil will hit anyway because we don't have Hex up. So I'm just going to make sure we get these buffs stacked up. But yeah, between Shamil and Nut, we're going to do a lot of damage, basically. They hit pretty hard. And then we've got Strengthen, Shield, Cleanse. Everyone does enough damage to be getting a decent kind of return from the leech. So yeah, like it works pretty well. I have Cantra in Relentless, Necmo is in Provoke, and Mithral is in a arena build, so I'll probably change that at some point. That's a little heal. One. Yeah, Mithrala probably could have more damage, probably be preferable, but currently doesn't. That's a way that I could definitely improve the composition. I think I could try and add a bit more damage into Necmo as well. I have considered, should I actually swap out Ugo? That's basically one thing I thought about. I would lose a source of healing, and I'd need a different block buffs champion. But I could bring in someone that does a lot more damage. I was thinking about potentially Deliana. But, yeah. Why Cantra lead and not Necmo? I mean, to be honest, either could. I've tried both ways. And I can't definitively say which does more damage. whether it's the Necmo lead or Cantra lead. Yeah, it could be either. Yeah, the monkey's another option in terms of that spot. I do worry a little bit about using the monkey on Nightmare, but I would like to give it a go. In this instance, I gave Cantra lead just to get as many turns as possible to try and keep decrease accuracy on, because when we lose decrease accuracy, it's a bit of a pain. Shamil's only got 2 turns here, so I'm going to hold off using Nuts A2 or Newts A3 rather, until Shamil gets eaten. Don't have decrease accuracy on over here, which is kind of a pain. The only champion that can natively resist is Thrala. But hopefully we'll get the decrease accuracy out. That Relentless helping gave us the Provoke. We didn't get decrease accuracy out, so I'm going to try and just kill Mischief instead. In fact, Mischief went and ate, so we can go free, although we've lost the... That's annoying. We lost that, the Hex. So Not went and attacked the wrong target, but it'll be fine. We'll just, it's only the very first consumption. We have 5 turns. I'm pretty confident we'll manage to get our champion out in less than that. How is everyone doing anyway who has joined us a little bit later? And, you know, how are people getting on with Hydra Clash? Are you enjoying it? I wouldn't say I'm massively loving it, because now I have to do more Hydra than I did before. I had 3 nice auto teams that top chested on each difficulty. And now I'm kind of having to actually do Hydra as intended, I guess, and do a lot more manual, which I don't really want to, but you know, it is what it is. I think we're doing okay as a clan. I've avoided using Cadaver. I don't have a Krisk anyway, but I could still make a viable team. But I don't like cheese strategies. I don't really want to. It just doesn't feel right. Go for the Severed Head. Nice 300k damage per hit from Shamil. I do wonder also, Nut is in Reflex. I could put him in a different gear set. and I could occasionally use his A2. I haven't, but it's another option. There's a few different things that I could do to try and increase the damage on this team. Corpulent isn't cheating, just way better than everything else. Well, I mean, he's pretty cheesy. Like, whether you determine that it's cheating or not, I think cheating would imply that you're doing something outside of the rules of the game or outside the intention of the game. So probably cheating isn't the right terminology, but it is very much a cheesy composition, and just to me, like I said, I've never really enjoyed doing cheesy strats. Same reason I never really did any of the Paragon cheese stuff. Who shall we attack? Probably go after Light here. Another head decapitated. Get the cleanse out. Yeah. What else? Yeah, we'll get the weaken out. Why not? We'll see how it goes. How long until the next consumption? Still 10 turns. We can do that with Shamil. What do I do for Iron Twins? Well, I do use an unkillable with Geomancer. I probably shouldn't. Like I said, I don't like doing cheesy things. I do feel like maybe some of the unkillable stuff is a bit less cheesy than a Corpulent Cadaver completely decimating Hydra. I think it's slightly different, but I get your point. I have actually got champions that I could probably build a traditional team for Iron Twins at this point. I just haven't bothered because I've been so busy doing that challenge account stuff. The amount of free time I have to tinker on the main account is pretty low. I basically just do the absolute bare minimum that I can get away with. And yeah, I think once that team is finished with, I might then be in a position to actually do some more fun things on this account. It's been a long while since I've done much in terms of tag team, for instance. I've barely done any live arena ever. So it might be nice to at least do some of that. 5 more turns, we've still got enough time. Should be able to cycle back round. Knock out another, another 1.5 million damage. It's quite crazy. Do I like your Bannerlords 21 team? Yeah, I'll check the actual exact team later. I remember seeing the screenshot. I just can't remember off the top of my head what the actual components were. But yeah, let's get that weaken back out again. So actually Mischief is there, and I probably shouldn't have done the counterattack just yet because we haven't got decrease accuracy yet. Hopefully soon. Go after the decay head there. Also means because we have enough resistance, as long as decrease accuracy is out, we typically won't take any heal reduction. Yeah, we basically nullify pretty much all of the debuff mechanics. There are a few things we still need to be wary of, naturally. Let me see if I can reduce the buff duration. I don't have much by way of, what do you call it? I don't have much by way of accuracy on Shamil. Like I said, it's actually quite challenging. I do need to get Hex up. Probably going to have to save the A3 till I can get Hex up. Clear off that there. That's kind of annoying. Let's see if we can kill you. We can't. We didn't have enough buffs. This has gone horribly. What went so wrong? Are we going to get our chance before the cleanse? No, we're not. Oh, how horribly this has gone. I'm going to have to hope that we land. We did. Read Necmo. Yeah, this is it's normally much safer than this. Given we don't have any form of revive, we can't afford to actually have anyone die. It'd be nice if we can actually just get a turn. It all kind of got away again because we just ran out of debuffs on Decay. And Mischief popped up at a little bit of an awkward moment. Didn't help. But hopefully we'll get back into ability to actually do something. Shamil's so close to dying. Got his shield taken away. At least now we might actually have... I'm gonna have to... Accuracy, we can go for that. Oh, and we're gonna have to start again. What a shame. Did consider, should I do the heal? I didn't. So Saf, I have to ask you, how do you manage to do this whilst talking and reading chat? Because I've never made so many mistakes in a Hydra battle as I have whilst trying to stream. It's challenging, but at least we have the same good start that we got last time. Now we should be fine as long as we can keep an eye on the debuffs that we have over on Decay. Make sure Mischief has decreased accuracy. Then we'll be in a better place. Let's go for the weaken because we're greedy. See what damage we can get out. Apart from the brilliance, just practice. He does spend a lot of time shouting at Kantra. You're not wrong there. But I mean, to be fair, Kantra annoyed me quite a bit on this battle already. So I don't begrudge him that. We will go. Again, we'll just do another A3. Hobbering right here. And then usually with Shamil, I go for Mischief because it has the lowest defense. So takes the most damage on an A1 from Shamil. I also tend to do the A3 on him just because if I could reset the turn meters of the enemy, it's worth doing. Yeah, I don't normally do the A2 either, but we thought we'd give it a go this time. See if it does good things. Keep going with Kantra. I do find the Relentless Kantra just increases your consistency in terms of keeping the provoke up, and also I need that decrease accuracy on Mischief at a minimum. So I'm quite reliant on Kantra in this kind of setup. Kantra is in the lead. Yeah, it is a bit madness. I've tried both Necmo and Kantra in the lead, but I got my biggest damage key with Kantra in the lead. I could go either way. I think Necmo is better in the lead, but I also think both work. So it probably doesn't matter too much. We're doing good damage this time. Definitely good damage. But yeah, we could go either way. Like I said, I'm not married to either of them being in lead. We just, like I said, we need to make sure that we keep Provoke on. I think the main reason I put Kantra in lead is because I want to make sure that we're keeping the provoke and the decrease accuracy. You see the decrease accuracy fell off, and as a consequence, Shamil had all his buffs stolen. And we're so reliant on the buffs to keep the team alive that it's actually quite a big risk if we don't have... we'll save that because we don't have any buffs, and we would do awful damage as a result. So we're highly reliant on the buffs staying there. Is Acrisia cheesy? Not in the same breath as Cadaver. You know, like the degree of cheese that Cadaver does is so much higher than Acrisia. I think Acrisia is a champion that kind of slightly imbalanced the game, and I think that's a bit of a shame that the game is that much less balanced for champions such as Acrisia existing. But Cadaver just makes the whole Hydra Clash thing a joke. So it's very different scale of problem. Oh, we're doing incredibly good damage per turn. I think having the weaken does help. But yeah, it's a tricky one, right? It's hard to balance a game like Raid. They've got so many champions at this point, and they just keep adding more and more of them. Like, I don't envy their job of trying to keep the game balanced. I mean, I don't think they actually try that hard to do it, because I think they know it's so hard. But with Acrisia, you actually at least you need a team. You can't just put any old kind of team out. I know with Cadaver you need a very specific team, but there's no other team that comes even remotely close. Shamil still has 5 turns. Will be absolutely no problem getting back to something in time for that. And then at this point, I'm going to stack turn meter. But yeah, I do think I should move Necmo to lead next week. We'll move it next week. Get the strengthen up. Now I'm kind of in an awkward position where I want to get the turn meter by hitting Torment, but I also want to hit the severed heads. We'll see. Is my Newt in Savage Lethal? No, he's not. He's in Reflex. But since we're now using the A2 for the weaken, it does make me wonder if I should consider changing it. With Shamil, I'll go for the Severed Head to get the damage. So basically, people that don't hit hard, I'll go for Torment, and then the rest I was going for the Severed. But now that we're... which will we do? Actually, I want to cycle back with Cantra, make sure I have the A2 ready for when the heads pop. So we'll be well positioned to go straight in with the A2. And with everyone else, we'll try and get some extra damage on the severed heads. With Newt, I think we'll just go here, get like 100k damage. We've only got 2 turns left until Shamil is consumed. So Newt will just be holding back. Like I said, I'm going to keep the A2 from Cantra. Is there a substitute in this team for Necmo? I mean, I have a different team on Brutal that obviously doesn't use Necmo. And I use Lady Kimmy in that. I think with this specific team, you would struggle not to have Necmo. This is Nightmare, yes. I think Necmo is, for this exact composition, is, you know, basically mandatory. I think if you don't have Necmo, you end up building a slightly different team, basically. So it as with a lot of things, it massively depends on your team composition. Because if you don't have an ECMO, then I probably would have to swap other champions around as well. Like, I don't think I could do a direct swap just Necmo out for a different champion. But I'd probably try and keep Shamil and Newt in the team. It'd end up being a discussion as to who else would come out of the team. I'm curious to see who will end up consuming Shamil, actually. Because I can't tell, because everyone's got the same kind of turn meter. What is your brutal team, Saphira? What do you use for brutal? I'll show my brutal team after. I did the brutal key yesterday. I just need to do... Don't have Shamil up. A1 over here. Ah, of course, Whisper. Gotta be, doesn't it? Right, let's free Shamil. Didn't quite. Surprisingly little damage, actually. Let's cleanse off those provokes. There we go, we had a Shamil. Took a little bit of time to actually show up. Get the A2 going. What's also nice with Cantra is you see this pesky reflect damage that was causing no end of problems for Saf yesterday. All kinds of problems. Well, Cantra can just run in and take it. No problems for us. Who will we hit with Shamil? Doesn't really matter, to be honest. There's an argument to be had that we should keep Torment alive for as long as possible. I just don't care. Let's just do damage. And I get to 100 million. It'd be nice if I could break the record I did last time, but it did also take a lot of time, and I don't think I necessarily have that much time today. It took me, what, 1 hour 40 minutes to get to that 156 million. So we might have to end it a bit early, but we'll see. Let's go and kill this head over here. Got 14 turns, so we've got plenty of time. You use Kimmy as lead in your Nightmare team. Best score 111 million. Yeah, I mean, Kimmy is totally a viable Hydra champion. The only reason I moved Necmo to my Nightmare team, because actually Kimmy used to be in my Nightmare team, is Necmo's much more auto-friendly. But now, since I tend to auto less than I used to, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really make a difference. But yeah, I mean, Necmo I think is a much more auto-friendly champion to use than Kimmy. So there is that. But if you are going to manual it, I think Kimmy's really, really good. Kind of underrated, to be honest. Quickly clicking on the challenge account. We've got 12 turns, so we've got enough time. Let's run in. Get that 1.5 million damage on the Suffering. Severed head with Shamil. Duchess, Ugo, Husk, Crisp, Whisper. It's a nice team. How much damage does Whisper do per hit for you on Brutal? Since I showed you, I have 6-starred my Whisper. Actually, I can give up books today, can't I, at CvC? On a not dead head, let's say. Yeah, dead head as well. I do like the fact that Shamil also hits for like 1 million damage on a severed head, whilst bringing other things. So this is always a bit of a pain, because it's actually quite hard to get enough debuffs up. Let's just do this. We've got an extra 2 debuffs there. See if we can. Are we going to get back round to Kantra in time? Question. Don't think we necessarily will. Come on, Kantra, get that provoke off. Don't want the cleanse. And are you going to slip in, Kantra? No, she didn't. That's kind of annoying. Oh well. Do that. Do that. Then we'll just jump in. Smash some damage out. We should get the provoke off next time. Be nice to have the decreased defense. I've not tried Wukong yet. I have 6-starred on both accounts, and I'm running him in Minotaur on the challenge account right now as we speak. That's happening on the side. And on the main account, I think I've done most of the masteries as well, but I haven't quite finished. But I do want to... I want to basically use him quite differently on each account. We've got the provoke back on this time. That didn't cost us too much. We'll just A1 over here. Five turns, we've still got enough time. Who do I want to attack? Probably Decay. I find Decay quite annoying. See, now at least we should, once we get up the debuffs, we should keep them on, which means we should keep the provoke. I sometimes need to be careful not to over debuff Decay. So it's kind of a bit of a balance where you don't want to have too few, but obviously you also don't want to be completely stacked on the debuffs and therefore not have space to land provoke. That's happened to me before as well. Yeah, so it's a bit of a balancing act. 2 more turns. Let's get the Hex out. They're actually taking a lot of damage this time. I blame the streaming. Is there bad luck when you stream? It feels like there must be. This is looking great. There we go, at least we 1A1 and fully up to health. Wait and see who is going to consume Mithrala. I mean, we're going to get Mithrala straight out. It's going to take no time at all. It's one of the nice things about this kind of setup. Do a lot of damage in burst when you need it. Would have been nice to have had that. Don't have increased attack currently on Shamil. That's kind of a pain. But fine. We have lost our debuffs. That's kind of annoying. Don't have decreased accuracy on Blight. That's also kind of annoying. There's a lot of RNG involved, isn't there? Let's at least just go and free Mithrala. See if I can cycle back round. I just try and kill Wrath. Didn't get the provoke. Kind of want to just get Wrath killed. Quick heal. Not going to attack Wrath just yet. Take the cleanse. I'm gonna get the decreased attack on rather than the decreased speed. That will keep me alive. Let's take these debuffs if we can. I kind of wanted to get the block buffs, to be honest. Let's just kill Wrath. We'll get the extra damage. Drop defense, heal. Ugo's also in Relentless. So basically, Ugo and Kantra are in Relentless. Shamil's in just random sets. Reflex on Newt. Untouchable on Mithrala. PvP setup. And then Necmo is in Provoke. Just to give a little bit of support to Kantra, basically. Generally speaking, between the two of them, we keep pretty good work on the Provoke, but it's not 100%. I used to use Geomancer in Newt's place, and that's definitely a more consistent team, but it has much lower potential damage output. So I go for this team, basically, for the damage, which is now the name of the game in the wonderful world of Hydra. Thanks to Hydra Clash, we want to really ramp up the damage. He did not get block buffs on these two champions, which is kind of annoying. So I can't go and A3 here because of Poison Cloud. It will probably weak hit, but we're going to go for it anyway. 1 weak hit, that's not too bad. 9 turns, we've got enough time. We'll go for the Deadhead with Shamil. Nearly 400k per hit. That is quite nice. I do like damage Shamil. A lot of fun. Did get the Provoke back. I'll just keep going for the Deadhead. We've got a refresh proc. Let's just go in straight away again. Good damage. A1 here. 250k A1 on a Deadhead. Again, not bad. Another nice thing about Kantra is she can debuff through Poison Cloud. Quite nice. Everyone asks why is Kantra in the lead instead of Necmo. There's no good reason. I've tried it both ways. I don't. It's it just is what it is. I used to always have Necmo in lead. I then switched Kantra there to try, because I'm not running any backup decrease accuracy champion, and I was having difficulties maintaining the decrease accuracy sufficiently for this composition to work. So I went for the approach of using Kantra as lead in Relentless to overcome that shortcoming. So that was it, really. But I think it could be run with Neckbone lead. I don't think it would make that much difference. But I do quite like having Kantra go again and again and again, try and make sure that I maintain all those debuffs. It means I'm a bit more consistent on the Provoke and a bit more consistent on having decreased accuracy. There's only a couple of champions, a couple of Hydra heads rather, where having decreased accuracy is super important. Personally, Decay and Mischief are basically the two. We've got 3 turns. I think I'll hold off. We'll still kill that. We will still kill that. I actually want Suffering to heal up, but I do want to get rid of the Reflect. So we'll use Kantra to take that. And then I'm going to leave Suffering to heal himself with the barrier. So here I go. Ideally, we've got ally protection there. I don't want to kill you, so I'm going to have to go for a negative affinity, which isn't ideal. But it's the best of a bad selection of choices. we'll go for it anyway. Actually, I should have, with Cantra, I should have stolen the ally protection. That would have been a better thing to do. I will hold the A2 back again. Keep hitting the severed head. Get a little damage. Get the weaken out. Who is going to attack? Why is my Michinaki hitting dead heads? Well, it's bugged. They tried coding things and they didn't do a good job of it. Let's steal this ally protection. There we go. And I'm going to hold back the A2 until we get the new head, because it might be one that I need. I need the A2 for. Suffering steals. Go straight in. Not the best head for Shamil to hit, because it doesn't seem to do the most damage to it. It's a better head for the Newt to hit. Alright. Our damage per turn's pretty good though. 50 million in 73 turns. I think that's pretty strong. I will go after Torment, get my turn meter stacking again. Now I'm almost back to having the A2 on Cantra. With Shamil, I'll probably go after Blight. So any champion that does low damage, I'm kind of going after Torment. This could go either way. Like, I might as well just get the quad hit. Get all that extra turn meter. There are arguments that I should keep Torment alive longer, but I just like killing heads. So I don't mind who dies. 16 turns until a consumption, so we're okay. Just go in, stacking that turn meter. There's arguments actually that I should just put Newt in lead instead of even Cantra or Necmo. There's lots of ways of doing it. That would be kind of fun. We could get even more A3s. And obviously if I'm going to use the A2 like this, then maybe I should consider moving Newt to Relentless. So there's options there. Or, as people suggested, I could potentially put him in Savage Lethal, which I don't think is my preference, to be honest. I don't think I'd want Savage Lethal on Newt. I don't think it's going to make any difference in terms of the damage on the A3, and he doesn't do a lot of damage on the A2 anyway. We will go for Blight. Oh, I didn't have any buffs, I wasn't paying attention. Always wait to use Shamil's A2 till you have increased attack and 3 buffs. Easy to make mistakes when trying to stream. Streaming is not something that comes naturally to me. So now I should have used Shamil's A2, but obviously we messed up. So we lost a fair bit of damage by those mistakes. I will just go for the dead head, get a bit of extra damage. Wonder what is going to pop up actually. Will it be? There isn't really a specific head that causes this team like a lot of problems. But I still think Mischief is the most annoying, because I only have one source of decreased accuracy and it's not perfectly consistent. Yes, it is Nightmare. Again, I'm going to hold back the A2 until the head has popped so we know what we're dealing with. Similarly, with Ugo, I'll hold off the A2 for the same reason. But we'll go for the dead head with Shamil. Get the damage. I think we'll hold back on the A2 there as well. A2 here. Speed. And with that decreased accuracy, no one took poison, so that always works quite nicely. We'll just keep hitting this dead head. I want to see what pops up before I use the majority of my buffs. But we seem to be cycling quite a lot before that happens. This is the main account, yeah. I don't quite have this setup of champions on on the challenge account. We didn't get decreased accuracy. That's kind of annoying, but you know, we'll just have to deal with it. I think we'll go after Blight. 5 turns will be okay. Go for. I don't have strengthen on Shamil, so I'm gonna go for Blight. There are arguments that I potentially should have done something else, but we didn't. Let's go after the decayed deadhead over here. I want to steal this. Go decrease speed. 2 turns, so I'm going to hold back with Shamil. Let's steal the reflect. Should survive even though I've got no buffs on Shamil. Just. We don't have decreased accuracy, which is, as you can see, causing us a little bit of problem. But we now have infinite turn meter, so we'll be alright. Let's just go here. Infinite turn meter is our friend. I will just quickly heal with Ugo. Yeah, Ugo struggles a bit on this rotation because there's quite a few force heads that are quite important. There's still no one better. That's kind of the sad thing, is like all the champions they keep adding, they haven't really given us anyone better than Ugo. For the majority of people, there's no one better as a block buffs champion. I don't have Pinthroy, so I can't give personal experience of using him. But I mean, there just aren't that many. I mean, people use Tahanarak, and yeah, people use Pinthroy. Monkey's decent as well. But I still feel that Ugo gets used more in more teams and more end game teams than just about anyone else. Arguably a waste of Newt's A3, but I just didn't want to take any chances. Better to free our champion straight away. Not have to worry. But it'd be nice to get like a legendary version of Ugo, I think. And the reason I like Ugo is you get a heal, block buffs, decreased defense. You know, there's a lot coming. There's a lot of roles being used. I mean, it kind of depends. Kind of. When I say a legendary version, I mean like a fusion, not a void legendary that I don't have. We have so many fusions. It would be good to give people a few more, like Hydra specialists on the fusions. I mentioned to Hanorak, yeah, I mentioned to Hanorak, like, definitely one of the better block buff champions in the game, used in quite a lot of endgame Hydra teams, but it's a void legendary. When I'm kind of theorizing or discussing, say, champion options or upgrades, I generally try and ignore void as much as possible because they're quite selective as to whether people have them. Even non-void are pretty selective. Let's go for... Oh, we didn't have Hex out. Kantra does have block buffs on the A2, but it's, as with all of Kantra's debuffs, you can't really rely on any of them. They're all there, but none of them can precisely be relied upon. Pinthroy was a guaranteed, one of not many that I didn't do. I'm actually going to hold back 3 Newt because I want to do it here, and I wanted to get decreased defense out first. Ideally, I want to get Hex out as well. Okay, let's hope. Cycle back round, get the Hex out, and now we can use Newt's A3. Do some proper damage. And at the end of all this, we'll go through the actual builds. I think I'll have to do my hard key tomorrow morning before I head to work, because there's no way we're going to have time to finish this key and then do the next one. We'll go after the severed head at this point. Probably kill Suffering pretty soon, just from splash damage, basically. There we go. We've got 2 heads that are going to pop up around similar time. They're both on 2 turns. Ideally, we'll get decreased speed out pretty soon. I'm going to hold off again on the A3. I'd quite like to get the hexes out, but I will use Shamil's because I had the right setup. Newts I might hold back until Necmo's been eaten, potentially. If we have enough time, I will A2. You don't want to do Hydra. It is stupid RNG, you are right. Let's go after this severed head. Do I have time? Is this risky? 4 turns. I want to do it though. Bang, bang, bang. I think we'll have enough time. I know how much of a difference in damage between manual and auto. Typically when I've autoed this, it does around 60 to 80 million. If I semi-auto it, I think I can do 80 to 100-ish. And then past that, yeah, beyond that, I think it needs to be manual. I might hold off and just let Decay cleanse, to be honest. I feel like that's probably the best bet. Mostly because they're all dead heads anyway. It doesn't really matter. This head still has 2 turns as well. And I think Torment's gonna die pretty soon. It doesn't really matter. So I might just keep pummeling the dead heads. Let Decay do the cleanse. I'm considering actually even letting him get life barrier out on Torment. Eventually. That might be a bad idea. I'll hold back the A2. I'll start to build the debuffs. The reason it might be a bad idea is if we get life barrier and then the consumption at the same time. Well, that's not going to happen. Yeah. Be nice to get the leech up. There we go. So now we've got the provoke. We need to get a hex out. At least get that going. I do need decreased accuracy actually. That was a bit of a mistake. Do we have any accuracy? Okay, so Mischief went for the consumption. We need to get Hex, basically, and it's not yet time. That's kind of annoying. We'll just try an A1. Bit awkward not having Hex out, and Mischief is the one that stole. But we should have enough time. We've got the provoke, that's fine. Hex comes out. But now hopefully get some block buffs. Oh, and we got decreased accuracy out. Now we're in a good position. Relentless from Cantra. Always nice to see. You don't know enough about the mechanics even after 2 years to manual anything. I mean, to be honest, the best way of learning the mechanics is to manual it. You'll learn more about the specific mechanics that you're dealing with if you manual than you will, you know, doing 100 auto runs. Sulfurin is kind of damage Necmo. I believe so. Like, I haven't actually seen Sulfurin in action, but from the kit, like, will give a lot of TM fill. No block buffs is kind of annoying, but we did, again, Cantra can place debuffs, can steal through Poison Cloud, so it's incredibly valuable. As long as we've got decreased accuracy out on Mischief over here, we're in a good spot. So yeah. Is Relentless the best set overall? For Hydra, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, I am only running 2 champions in Relentless in this team of 6. So it's not like Relentless is mandatory at all. And even those 2, there's arguments that Cantra in Provoke or Cursed would be good. You know, in theory, if I ran Cantra and Cursed, potentially, you know, Mithrala could be someone else. Maybe not in this setup, but I do have a Cantra in my Brutal team as well. And there's definitely an argument to be had. 6 turns, bit of a risk, but let's go for it. There's definitely an argument to be had that I should, let's see if we can drop turn meter by killing the Mischief Head. There's definitely, I keep saying there's definitely an argument and then getting distracted. There's definitely an argument in my Brutal team that Cantra there, I should maybe try on Cursed. Because then I would potentially be able to get away with not running a Hex champion. And I think that could be quite interesting. But my Cursed gear isn't good enough yet to give that a go, basically. Probably should have done decreased speed just to have as maximum time on this downed head. We will get the weaken out. A1, 300k, A1 from Mr. Shamil on the Deadhead. I mean, it's obscene, really, isn't it? It's absolutely obscene for an A1 to do that kind of damage. I actually want to give him more damage as well. I'm going to have to hold back the A3 now. I've got to wait until Shamil is consumed. But Shamil can go here and pew pew pew, 1.2 million-ish. A little bit more. So I think the big gains to be had, I can probably get more damage on Necmo. We could try Necmo and lead next week. I think I could build Mithrala to do considerably more damage. And we could potentially try a bit of a suicidal approach and swap out Ugo for a damage dealing alternative. But we do need decreased defense from Ugo in this team. So if we swap out Ugo, we need another form of decreased defense. And this is kind of where this whole balancing act in Hydra is very difficult. Because if you swap any single champion out, you need to find quite a lot of other things. Let's yeah, no, we will. We want to get decreased defense on this champion over here. Sakir personally is too squishy. But also, Sakir doesn't give me block buffs. So I'd then be even more reliant on Kantra to not just do decreased accuracy, but to do block buffs. And block buffs is, for me, even more mandatory than even more mandatory than decreased accuracy. I can get away just about with not having decreased accuracy. I missed using Mithrala's correct ability. So I don't think Sakir would work. Like I was saying, I was half considering using Deliana in probably my brutal team. Basically. We need to get this strengthened back up. That will give me a bit of survivability. To and get Leech here. Helpful. Then everyone can hit the severed head and heal up, basically. Kantra, I'll get turn meter. Get weaken out. I'll hold that because I don't have increased attack. We'll just A1 over here. Get the Hex out. We still have provoke. We're pretty much maxed that debuff bar though, so we need to be a bit careful. When Decay gets a turn, we need to make sure we don't increase the debuffs. On top of that, don't have decreased speed out here, so let's get that, and we obviously get the leech that we wanted. Well, I mean, everyone's pretty much healed up now anyway, so less important right now. 90 million in. Everyone who's still in chat, so what is your top damage you've done on your own account? And are you actively pushing to do more damage? Is it something that interests you? Getting quite close on the damage again. That's one of the risks of having counterattack on Newt. It's definitely a little bit riskier. Couple of 90 odd millions there. 10 million on normal. There's a long way to go, but it's actually, you can do it. Like, you can push up. Like on my Challenge account, I'm one keying hard at this point. I think I probably have the champions to try and push on to brutal, but I kind of want to get a few things sorted first. The thing I'm really trying to push at the moment on the challenge account is what is it? Floor 114 on hard Doom Tower. It's absolutely disgracefully hard. I was not expecting it to be so difficult, but it is. We don't have provoke up at the moment, and we still don't. So I'm going to hold off the A2. Let's see if we can get the provoke. We managed to get relentless. We still didn't. Now we do. There we go. Okay, now we're safe. 100 million on hard and 240 million on normal. Stig, if you're doing that kind of damage... Oh, you did say 47 million on nightmare, 70 million on brutal. Yeah, 100 million on hard. I think you probably have the champions and the gear to push probably even a bit higher on nightmare than 47 million, but those are good numbers. Really solid. Particularly those hard and normal damage. 7 turns on consumption. Let's go and attack here. There's a lot of RNG. I'd say normal and hard aren't massively different in terms of difficulty. Like, normal is that bit easier. You will sever heads more quickly and you'll get damage from that. But it's one of those things, like, the increase in champion quality and gear quality between normal and hard isn't that big. So if you can kind of do, 20 million on normal, you're probably not that far off being able to do 20 million on hard. Now, we don't have Hex out on everyone, so I'm probably going to A2, get the Weaken out, and then we'll use Newts. A3. We've got 5 turns on our friend Mithrala. Can't be bothered to do all this manual labour, just want to auto. I feel the same. I don't think I can manual it every week, but if I can hit that 650 million by kind of semi-autoing all the keys, that would be good enough. But I also kind of felt that it would be good to show this team fully. And that's basically what we're doing here. What are we going to do? I'm going to A1 here, get some turn meter. I need to steal the reflect. I need to get decreased defense out again. So we'll go and do this. Then Cantrell will cycle back round and we can steal. So at least I get to show that yes, Necmo is arguably the better lead. But Cantrell has her uses as well. Like, it's pretty handy for me to cycle back round to Cantrell. Manhoff, who have you got as your provoker? Who are you using? Oh, we killed 2 heads. Who's gonna eat Mithrala is the question. Hold back. Using that. Ah, Saf. What's happening to you on the RNG? I thought from the team you explained that you'd be less susceptible to RNG. What aspect is going wrong? Hold that back. Decrease defense. Try and get decreased accuracy. Come on, Newt. Get the decreased speed. And there we go. Newt time. Mischief took buffs. Ugo eaten. Zakumbo. Poison cloud. Buff spread. Oh, that's painful, yeah. There's a lot of bad luck involved there. I'm a big fan of Cantra. I have to keep saying it. But like, I use Cantra both in my Brutal team and my Nightmare team. I liked Cantra so much, I built her twice. Are you using the Cursed Krisk? I mean, to be fair, when you're relying on gear sets to do Provoke or Cursed, or Hex rather, it just adds more RNG. Is Cantra better than Morley? I mean, different. If I had Morley, I think I'd use Morley, but I don't have Morley. Morley allows you to build a dedicated Mischief tank, plus gives you a revive, as well as obviously giving you the Provoke. I have no revive in this team. Like, you know, for the most part, as you've seen, we've been keeping pretty healthy, so it's not really been too much of an issue. But it is a risk, obviously. I have no safety net. If we get like a really bad setup that we're not able to control, there's literally there's no revive. You know? Yeah, Ugo technically can revive, but good luck creating a circumstance in Hydra where Ugo's the only one alive when you want that to happen. It's unlikely. Nubraids, welcome to my stream, basically. It's the least professional raid stream you're gonna find on YouTube. But it is currently your favorite part of the game. It's Hydra. And we're full manualing Nightmare, which is something I typically try and avoid doing. I try and auto this as much as possible with this exact team. Yeah, bit of semi-auto or full auto. Let's go over here. Bit weak. Not quite the strength we wanted. Let's see if we can steal the ally protection here. 100%. I'm so ready for the free regroup. After an hour of 4 turns, we will hold back the A3. Also with my other hand. So one hand is on the mouse controlling this. The other hand is on my laptop clicking replay on the challenge account doing Minotaur. We're not getting much luck with Cantra. She's not stolen either of these ally protections. And we don't have any accuracy on Shamil, so that's not going to happen. Where's the streaming talking head? Aren't you supposed to give us an avatar to form parasocial relationships with? 100%. I really should, shouldn't I? How else are you going to give me all your money and have a completely unhealthy parasocial relationship with me if A, I don't stream very much, B, I don't put out content frequently, and C, there's no anime avatar to interact with? I'm doing this all wrong. When would Instant Hydra be implemented? I mean, it took them, what, nearly 4 years to implement Instant Clan Boss, so I would say you're going to be waiting a long time. Right, who is going to eat Ugo? It could be Suffering. Let's do this. Click replay on Minotaur. Some more turn meter. By the way, Nubs, you haven't yet made a comment. Most people, when they first join this stream, they ask, why is Kantra in lead and not Necmo? And you didn't ask this. I'm disappointed. I don't really have a great reason. Just want someone to eat Ugo so we can do some more damage. On. Take a turn. Okay. I will actually let Newt hit Suffering and I'll go over there. Why not? Come on, Newt. Turn. Your turn. What score am I hoping to reach? Well, my record was 156.27. So if I can beat that, I'd be happy. But really, anything over 100 million, I'm happy enough with. But yeah, I stack turns on Kantra because I need the decrease accuracy. Yeah, I need the decrease accuracy, and I'm reliant pretty much on the provoke as well. So I found it was that little bit more consistent. I could get higher kind of burst damage by having Necmo as lead, but I found it a little bit more consistent if I had Kantra. But maybe next week we'll do a full manual key, much like this one, and we'll try swapping them around. I'd also like to try regearing some champions. It really is. Decrease accuracy is massive, particularly in this composition. I don't have a dedicated mischief tank. Every single champion here has enough resistance rather to resist, as long as decrease accuracy is out there. So I run a very buff heavy team. Yeah, a lot of buffs across board, and I just, as long as I got decrease accuracy, which we don't currently on Mischief, but we usually will have a fallback 7 turns. We've got enough time. I'll try and actually kill Mischief as a result, because I don't really want to deal with that. Yeah, this way we don't take the poisons, we don't take heal reduction, we don't take weaken, we don't take provokes. Like, so many mechanics can be avoided basically. If we do that, 4 turns before Newt gets eaten, I would say I don't want to have to rescue from Suffering, so I'm actually just gonna go and kill him. That would. How much is minimum resistance? I think it's 260, if I remember correctly. Could be 250, but I think I have about 260 on everyone. You basically can check the normal resistance you need and divide it by 1.5, and that will be the decreased resistance, decrease accuracy resistance you need. Because will it show? No, it doesn't show it that way. But yeah, you just basically divide by the multiplier of the decrease accuracy. We'll get weaken out. 3 heads dead. 117 million damage. 63 minutes. I'll hold back the A2 from Kantra. No reason to use that at the moment. Click replay on the challenge account. Go for an A1. 3 more turns, but only one head is alive, so we've probably got a bit of time. I'm not going to use Shamil's A2. Will put Hex out though. Won't put decreased defense or block buffs out though. Won't use decreased speed. Hold that back. 2. I'm not going to put the weaken out. I want to drop counter attack now that mischief is up. 3 turns. Let's just A1. Let's get the block buffs out. Do get the decreased accuracy. That's what we were hoping to see. Now, the only risk is that decay pops up, because that would be a problem. We will go and do the 3 over here. And it's Torment, so we're fine. In a good position. Right. 120 million, so what we need another like 40 million. We're quite far on the turn count now, 188. Like it's gonna start to become quite hard to rescue people, particularly when that person that's being consumed is our main damage dealer. That is not optimal, but Shamil will do good damage as well if we ever get a chance to take a turn. What's my opinion on Hydra these days? I mean, I think there's some good bits, but I personally think Hydra Clash, they need to do something to the cadaver teams. I think it's a bit of a problem that the level of damage is so heavily skewed, and therefore you can't really have any kind of decent competition going, because it's so entirely reliant on whether you have a cadaver team set up. There's no other part of the game that's as unbelievably skewed to one form of composition. And I think that's a problem. So we got decreased accuracy out here. We can put the weaken out and get the counter attack. It's not going to be a problem. Right. Might as well. Might as well get the hex out. $123 million, nearly 200 turns in. You know we're going to end up clicking free regroup at the end, just as Nub Raids had predicted. 6 turns until Shamil gets eaten. Let's just get another million damage out. May as well. And we do have decay. Right. Now this is where having our favourite lead champion, Kantra, comes in handy. As we basically need to build up 5 debuffs, and Kantra then needs to take another turn to get the provoke out. So we've got the 5 debuffs out. Kantra takes another turn, thanks to being in lead. Provoke is assured. There we go. And that's basically right there. That is why we had Kantra in lead. I will go for Wrath. Get Strengthen out. I don't want to just trigger Wrath's Vengeance whilst I still have Strengthen up. It will do very little damage at that point. Be less of a risk. Oh, we didn't check. We had no decrease accuracy. That's a mistake. Shouldn't have buffed with the counterattack. Let's see if we can get decrease accuracy out. We don't. I'm going to try and cycle back round to Cantra again. Basically, we do get Relentless proc though, so at least can extend the block buffs. Better than nothing. But let's see if we can cycle around Cantra, get another A2 out, and see if we can get that decrease accuracy. And we've actually we've capped. Oh, that's annoying. We've capped the debuff bar on Decay. That's pretty unlucky. That is pretty unlucky. We capped the debuff bar trying to chase decrease accuracy on Mischief. Mischief went for the consumption. Then we get we've lost it. It's a problem. I think Life Barrier is gonna go on Torment. I think. At least we got block debuffs. Oh, Cantra almost dead. I can't. We haven't got Mischief. We're over here. Cantra's down. Well, this is falling apart very quickly now. We have lost Cantra. The RNG ultimately destroyed us. We will free Shamil, but no Cantra. Basically, this run is finished. We'll do what damage we can, but it won't be a PB. Wrath had no decrease attack, basically destroyed us. And it was all because we just overcapped. And it was kind of the order. Like, yeah. If any other head, essentially if Decay had eaten instead, yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. 130 million, still a good score. But yeah, it just could have been a new PB. Felt we were doing well. We were in the groove. We're heading that way. But yeah, that's that's how the RNG can absolutely wreck you in seconds. I'm just trying to see if I can get round to one more A3. Basically, one more A3 from Newt. No, we can't, but there you go, look. Can we do it? Hey! Still not going to be enough. But we got the Hugo revive. Oh, so close. So close. Just couldn't survive long enough. And at this point, they're consuming so fast that without us being in control, it's not going to happen. But I still want to get one more Newt A3 if we can. Anytime. We actually got to use Hugo's revive. That's hilarious. I never thought it would happen. Like, over 200 turns into Nightmare. And we actually managed to do it. I think we might get one more Newt A3. Enjoy, Saf. I hope you eventually get the the Hydra key done. One more Newt A3, and we're gonna go out with a bang. Let's go for vengeance. Take down one more head. We get one more hex out. I'm gonna go out for an A2, hit them all, and be finished. There we go. We are done. 134 million. 1 hour, 11 minutes. I do think we would have got a new PB had it not gone all a little bit wrong towards the end. Yeah, pretty happy with that. We'll keep that result. And I'll just quickly show you guys the builds that I currently have and some of the thoughts in terms of what direction I'm thinking of going. Skip out of that, go to the champions, recently used. As I said, Mithrala is completely in a PvP build, so I think there is scope that we could tweak this, try and give a 100% crit rate and get a bit more damage. We also do have a blessing that we could assign. Masteries are set for PvP. I probably wouldn't change these, but I think giving her some crit rate would be probably a compromise. Newt also has a blessing that needs to be set. We've got 1 refresh and reflex. And in terms of stats, that resistance that I need, enough accuracy basically to use anywhere, including Dark Fae, pretty quick and good kind of effective HP. In terms of masteries, actually haven't finished them at all. Anyone who's been following me for a while knows that this often happens to my masteries. We do a bit, we don't do them all. Necmo in Provoke Perception. Again, actually we don't have that much resistance. I think Necmo cycles so fast that never ends up being targeted because never has the most buffs, but that's actually not enough resistance. Pretty quick though, 292 and decent effective HP. I have tried to build a bit of attack into Necmo, and I started to get a little bit of crit rate, a little bit of damage. Not a lot, but a bit. And I think I could add some more. I do want to keep Provoke Perception. I do have one nice piece here on the Provoke side. Mythical with a triple speed, effectively double res, and Ziggle accuracy. That's pretty good. Let me just sell these stupid pieces before they get in my way. Then masteries, War Master, pretty classic Hydra kind of setup. I did go Deadly Precision on Necmo with Keen Strike and then down to War Master. I do have Cycler Magic, I do have Sniper, I do have Master Hexer. So I've got all of that good stuff. Cantra in the Relentless, as I mentioned. Can't remember why Cantra's using Blood Shield, but it is. 270 resistance. You know, enough effective HP, near 100% crit rate, but not quite there, and enough accuracy. We could do some gear ascensioning at some point. I should probably, let's just upgrade this ring for next time. Probably forget. Oh, here we go. Triple roll on the HP percent. That's quite nice. That's quite nice. Shamil in 3-piece protection and 1-piece, 1 pair of crit damage. Kind of unusual, but it does give us 260 resistance, 240 speed, 292% crit damage, and 5.2k attack for a relatively low base attack. So this is pretty brutal. build on Shamil, and protection actually suits this kind of Shamil very nicely, as I need the resistance, I need the effective HP, and I need the speed. So all three of these are doing nice. And then obviously in terms of crit damage, getting the extra 20% crit damage is also pretty good. Masteries, again, not actually finished, probably don't need the defense tree, but also don't really need the support tree. So I don't know, potentially go for that, but I don't think severed heads actually trigger kill streaks, so there isn't really anything necessarily worth getting. Ugo, in terms of masteries, again, that standard Hydra setup. We've got Relentless and Speed, 263 speed, pretty good effective HP. I pushed more HP versus defense. Haven't worried about any damage dealing. Got that 260 resistance and enough accuracy. So I think there's scope to improve these builds. I haven't done that much gear ascension. You can see very few pieces have been ascended. Pretty much Newt's gloves are ascended, and someone's chest was Ugo's chest is ascended as well. But other than that, basically nothing. I haven't really done that much Sand Devil, so I'll probably try and do some more of that. In fact, that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to go here, Sand Devil, in the team that Saphira showcased before and kind of created. I stole it from him and built my own one, my own copy of that. And yeah, it's just the ninja Aniri duo with food. And that's that. Right, I'm gonna call it a night. It's been a longer stream than I was intending on doing, but yeah, it was good fun overall, and I'll try and do another stream this weekend. I'll probably try and get a short video out, maybe an update on the challenge account or something else on the main. I'm not sure what, but I'll try and get something out either midweek, it is midweek, but either later in the week or at the weekend at the latest. So yeah, thanks for watching. Good luck in Clan v Clan. Good luck in your Hydra clash. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.